has time, and his pass is intercepted.
Uh-oh, they're not catching
Going
him.
down the sideline.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
Enterprise, and I'm telling you, we don't want to see any footballs, backpacks, hats, baseball, ball gloves, CDs and cassettes. And the CD has a very, very nice thing that you can pull out. And there's a big ass picture of Deion all styling in his little $5,000 Armani suit. You'll be able to sell that for, I'm telling you. That was probably the best thing for you to autograph right there when you can say Deion. That's very nice.
That's what they usually want.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's play a song, Cub.
Let's play. What we going? Well,
Cut five.
I tell you what. Cut five. You know where I grew up?
You go up North Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
North
down in
Fort.
Florida.
I had some calls from Fort Myers this week.
I want to have something that I made a song with my man Too Short. He wrote this track for me. It's called "It's All Real."
It's all real.
It's all real.
Cut five.
Cut five.
Cut five with a CD you can buy tomorrow and have you sign.
Keep the mic on because I like to talk through it. Yeah.
Your mic's on, cuz.
Baby. You know what? You know we having a big old party. That's a big old party, because you know what, man? Bubba, you know what?
What's that, Tom?
Ain't no party like a primetime party, because a primetime party don't stop.
Say what?
Yeah. Ain't no party
Your
like
mama,
a
you gonna be out there on
primetime
Sunday? You gonna be out there on Sunday?
What's your name?
93.3 FLC, VTLS, Bubba Loves Lunch.
What's up, man?
He's here.
Yeah. Nice, man.
He's the man. He's the myth.
Yeah.
One of the greatest athletes in our time.
I try my best, man.
Prime time.
I try
Deion
my best.
Sanders in the house. That's right. North Fort Myers is very own. You know, I was at North Fort Myers about a year ago at the Woody's Barbecue.
Woody's.
No, on the north. What's that barbecue? Right?
I'm not sure. You know, North Fort Myers is the other side of town. We don't want to hang around there at night. You know what I'm saying? we might have to see how good we are with these things. You know what I'm saying? Fort Myers. I grew up in Fort Myers. I went to school in North Fort Myers.
That's what I was. A kid called me up a couple nights ago and said that they retired your basketball jersey up there and stuff. And that's how I got your autograph. So, Deion, you got your Super Bowl ring with you?
No, man, they don't make them that quick. They don't make them that quick.
They don't make them that quick?
They don't make it like t-shirts.
I just, Can I ask you a question?
You got it.
Where did you get to prime time at? That wasn't Chris Berman, was it?
No. That
happened way before that, didn't
That
it?
happened way before that. I don't believe in them nicknames that was given to yourself. You got to earn your nickname, you know what I'm saying? So I earned the right to be called Prime in high school, man, back in, I think it was 84 in a basketball game, man. 84, not 4, 84.
That's when I graduated, it was 84.
Right, 84?
Yeah.
Man, I dropped like 36 that night, had a couple dunks back to back, and one of my homies said, hey, Deion. I said, what's up, man? He said, you know what, man? I said, what, baby? He said, you prime time. I said, yeah, okay. Now, ever since then, man, I've been prime time. That Neon Deion stuff, that was given by athletic department, so that ain't real. I don't even answer to that.
You don't even like that?
I don't like that. That ain't real. That wasn't earned.
I'm sorry for calling you that.
No, it's all good, but it wasn't earned. You know what I mean?
Right. So prime time came within.
Prime time
From
came
one of your
within.
fellow
Came
homies.
from the hometown. Richard Frame, but that's his name.
Richard's frame.
Right. Richard Frame. He played basketball, football, and baseball with Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
You would not believe the people, all the Deion Sanders fans that's been coming out of the woodwork. I was on the air last night, and this kid called up and said, yeah, my name is, I forget what the hell his name was, but I played against Deion my sophomore year, like in the championship something of some baseball game. Tell him if I was like, shut up, punk. He's not gonna know who the hell the opposite center fielder was.
You know what? It's a trip when you go places, man, and people come up to you and say, "Hey, you remember me?" And they sit there.
Like you're supposed to.
Like
know.
I'm supposed to say, "Oh yeah, you was you sat in the second row in the third seat, but back when I was in the 4th grade."
Let me tell you something.
Hey, won't y'all just come up to me and say what's up? I'm Bubba. We used to kick it back such and such, and that's how you know me.
Right.
Cool. Much love, baby.
Here comes
Peace.
somebody. Yo,
Yeah.
I was a Jason permanently attached to.
Right. People gonna be pissed off at you, man. Don't judge an athlete by if you get his autograph or not.
Again tomorrow. Let me emphasize. US 19 Enterprise in the countryside there, Countryside Mall. It's the Peaches, and I'm telling you now, bring your 13 or 14 for the CD. Bring your 9 or 10 for the cassette, because they have very nice inserts.
And bring yourself to Club Atlantis on Sunday, because
That's right.
we don't stop.
What time is it?
Atlantis, what time does the love start? About 9:30?
Oh, what time is it?
10 o'clock.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know what time the love of you starts, but I'd get there about 8:39 to get a seat, to be honest with you.
Right.
Because this is your first. Now, Deion, this is your first performance ever singing.
No, baby.
Here.
The grandma, baby. Here.
Yeah.
Here.
No, I'm not
True,
saying.
baby. True.
Hey, Deion, I've seen you on MTV. I know you're back.
We had it.
I'm talking about here.
Right.
Here.
Here. That's right.
Here.
First time here. So
First
you know,
time here.
I tell you what, the show consists of.
Any booty?
I got
any
two.
Booty?
You know me.
Any booty bitches
You
in
know
there?
me. You know me. You know me.
I was just checking on you.
You see, it must be the money. You got some booty, baby. You see, it must be the money.
Do you have any booty? Do you have any booty for Bubba?
Making sure, my brother.
I got
You need
two
some
of my
booty
hype
for
men,
Bubba.
and they some bad boys. Two of my hype men. They some bad boys. Then we got 6 on the backside. 6 beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Look at
Hey,
six
fellas,
pack,
6 beautiful. Fellas, y'all don't feel me. 6 beautiful dancers, man. 6 beautiful.
Who are available?
I think you seen Must Be the Money. They
Yeah, I
better
saw.
than that. They better than that.
Must be the money.
They better than
That's
that.
my song right there, cuz.
So they cool.
Let me do some commercials here, prime time.
We gotta pay the rent. Let's do
We
that.
gotta pay the bills.
Got
cuz.
to.
Let me tell you. Deion Sanders.
You do your thing.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. What's up?
It's Bubba. What's up, Sponge?
What's going on, boss man?
You sound busy, real busy.
No. I'm just walking the house. I was taking care of pool issue with my mama.
With Connie?
Yep.
Okay, now is Connie back at? Is she back in Texas?
Yeah, she lives here. I'm on her I stay with her now. I live in her home.
Oh, all right. Now, have you got your new home done yet, or are you still building that?
It'll be done in September. Let me let you say hey to my mama. You know she loves you, Spot.
Oh, I love Connie.
Hold on. Hey, Mom. It's Bubba. Say hey to Bubba.
Hey, Bubba.
Hi, Connie. You keeping Deion situated? How you doing?
I'm trying.
You watching your shows? You watching your stories?
You know it. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What stories do you like currently?
You know what I like. Young and the Restless.
We're Young and the Restless. That used to be Deion, Young and the Restless. Now he's just old and restless. Hey, don't forget your baby boy's going to be 52 Friday. Don't forget.
Oh, I won't.
Oh, she won't forget. Long as she get installments each month, she won't forget.
Yeah. You know, Warren Sapp once told me, Deion, Warren Sapp, you know him and I had a love-hate relationship. And after he signed his big contract with Oakland, I'm like, Warren, what changes? Warren says, the more millions you make, the more family members you got to pay.
Oh, we call it installment.
Installment, right. So, Deion, how you been, buddy? And Connie, nice talking to you, Connie.
Oh, she gone. I came back in the house now. She's out going off on somebody about her pool.
Listen, I wanna forewarn you, Deion. I watched your Jaguar rookie camp orientation talk, and it really motivated me to really do a good interview today. Not just kind of BS it, but really do a good interview.
Man, you always do a good interview. You the sponge. First of all, you know you have Bubba, you got to have 30 years on the air?
32.
I knew it was around 30.
Yeah.
32. Oh my God, that's a long time, man.
And I've been knowing you since 96.
96 when you laid heavy in the tub.
Yeah, in fact, there's a guy that follows me on Twitter, and his name's Stuck in Deion's Tub. That's what his name is.
Hey, guess what, man? I thought about you because, first of all, I knew, even though I love you to life, I knew your favorite team was the Cowboys. Not Cowboys, the Green Bay Packers. And one of the reasons it was Green Bay because of Favre. And my son and I just went to Southern Miss, and Favre was our host.
I watched the entire thing, Deion. I did.
Unbelievable, man. Favre is unbelievable.
And you guys were in the SUV. You guys were in the SUV waiting at the stoplight and everything.
Oh my God, yeah. We're pickup trucking it. So Favre is unbelievable, man.
Now that's probably the most one-on-one time that you spent. I mean, I know you played with him in Atlanta, but that's probably the most one-on-one time that you probably spent with Brett.
Well, we spent one-on-one because I took him to the hood and I took him shopping back in the day. So,
when you were in Atlanta?
Yeah, was in Atlanta. But I thought about you because I know that you were crazy about those Packs because, and Favre was a vital part of that. Your infatuation with the Packers, man. He's a great guy, man.
I remember I got in trouble. 96, I go out to Deion's house. That's when I got stuck in his tub. And I'm over there. It's the 96 NFC Championship game. And Deion's like, Sponge, you just kind of hang out over here. So I'm on the field hanging out, just being the boys. And so, but I'm over on the Packer side of the deal because I'm like, I'm a Packer fan. At halftime, Deion comes to me and goes, Sponge, where you been? I go,
over at the Packer. He goes, you need to get your butt back over to the Cowboys side.
You slid over to the other sideline.
And if you remember, I don't think you've maybe ever talked about this, Deion. This might be an exclusive, but I know that you said the Packers were winning, and then remember when their defensive coordinator or something got hurt on the sidelines, and it gave you guys like another 20 minutes to kind of change your game plan a little bit, didn't it?
Somebody got hurt. I mean, they got hit severely on the sideline. You know, when somebody flies out of bounds and they get rolled up and something happened tremendously over there. I don't know if that was the whole case, but I remember somebody did get hurt.
And remember, they stopped play for like 15, 20 minutes, and you guys kind of changed your defensive scheme. You got some more tape from downstairs, and you were seeing what Favre was doing. And you guys, remember, turned it around and beat them.
Yeah, we beat. That was a big game. That was a huge game. How's my sponge doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Deion, and things are getting better for me. They really are. Things are getting better. I was really at a low point. You know, like about 3 or 4 months ago, I sold my home because I had to, and I was living in a trailer behind the radio station. And
ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with the trailer there. Ain't nothing wrong with the trailer. Ain't nothing wrong with the trailer.
Hey, don't think my boy didn't come from 125 Henderson Street, right? Don't think that's where my boy came from.
That's what I'm talking about, man. So, but you got to understand, man, no matter what you have possessions of, you still got you, and you've never lost you. So long as you got you could always make some money, man. You could always get your hustle on because you're a talented human being, Bo. You're one of the most talented men that I know. I mean, you got the gift of gab. You're smart. You're quick with it. Your timing is impeccable, and you always rise to the top, man. You always rise to the top. No matter when everything against you, you always seem to fight your way back and rise to the top.
Well, I can't thank you as to how good of a friend you've been. You know, a lot of people, it's not so popular to be friends with the Sponge from here, and you always stuck by me, Deion. You always took my call. You always go on the air.
You're a good dude, Sponge. I mean, I remember, even with the Sap thing, I remember saying, Sap, look at me. This is my boy, you my boy. You guys got to talk. You guys got to talk this through. And, I remember you guys got on the phone. Because I like peace and harmony, man. And I hate to have two friends that are very dear to my heart at odds, man. Sometimes
and you were Switzerland on that. And me and Sap are cool now. Like, we're cool now.
Yeah.
So, Deion, I watch all your stuff, and just because, I keep up with my prime, and you are so good and so active on social. Do you got like a full-time guy that helps you with that? Because you distribute your stuff as good as anybody that I know.
Content, man. We say content. That's our word in our house, content.
Yeah.
My youngest son has the most followers out of every high school football player in the nation, and he's just a junior and highly recruited junior, but we believe in content. And, Shiloh's going to South Carolina. Bucky's still my little entrepreneur of the family. Deandra is in Atlanta doing her thing, being her little entrepreneur. And Bossy, the youngest one, lives with her mother. And, hey, Shador just walked in. Shador, say hey to Sponge. This Bubba the Love Sponge, man. Say hey, baby.
What's up? I just watched your video, big quarterback slinging. But Deion, I think that he has, out of all your boys, I think that Shador has your biggest swagger, I think.
You know what? I don't know. Shador is more like the Deion part of me. But he loves the jewelry, but he's more like the Deion. Shiloh has a little more to the prime side, and Bucky has a little bit of both. That he understands the business aspect of it. They have different attributes, but Shador is he's a little button star, man, and he works his butt off to be who he is. He really does.
Shadora, Shiloh, Bucky, and Deion all get in a foot race. Let's say Thanksgiving Day at the crib. Who wins in a 40?
Well, Shador's in last for sure. Then Bucky's second. Bucky's second to last because he's laying heavy right now.
Right.
Then Shiloh is I beat Shiloh probably about 4 steps. So that's how it all goes down.
Are you not for real, D?
Ask Shador, he's right here.
Yeah, that's true.
Shador, you last? Bucky can still beat you, Shador. Come on now, buddy.
Yeah, Bucky beat Shador.
How about now? I know. Shador is a quarterback, hardest hitter between Deion, Shiloh, and Bucky, all corners.
We would say probably Shiloh because Shiloh don't have no sense.
Shiloh comes in heavy.
Yeah, he don't have no sense. He don't have no common sense. He don't understand about longevity and all that right now. So
I will tell you this. I'll tell you a trivia question. Deion Sanders did have one sack in his career, 91 Atlanta. Who'd you sack, Deion?
I don't even know why I sacked, but, after that, the coach said, why would we blitz our best corner? That don't make no sense. I said, you know what? You got a point there, coach. And I think that was probably the last time I blitzed. I take that back. I blitzed one time, and I told Shador that story. I was telling him Brett does not get the credit of how smart he was. I can remember being my guy going in motion, and we put a corner side blitz in, and nobody knew I was going to blitz because you don't blitz your best corner. And I came, and I didn't think Brett saw me. As he released the ball, he was saying, Prime, I see you. As he's throwing the football, doing a live football NFL game, he said, I said, Shador, that's how smart this guy was.
As he's throwing it over to Freeman.
As he releasing the ball, he said, Prime, I saw you, baby.
That should have been a shirt back in the day, Deion don't blitz, because Deion don't blitz, does he?
We don't blitz. How's the weather there, man?
Oh, it's hot like Vietnam. You know that. You've been down here a lot.
Yeah, that's how it is here. It's 90-something.
Now, didn't you guys just you did an Under Armour thing down here, didn't you?
Yep. We do it every year. New Year's, we come to the Orlando for the Under Armour All-American game. Then we just had a 7-on-7 tournament at IMG a few months ago.
Now, Deion, everybody's like, how did Shiloh not pick FSU? I mean, I know you went to see, Mississippi or Favre play. Was it Ole Miss?
Yeah, Shiloh wasn't. Shiloh, he didn't have a lot of offers. He had multiple offers, but not a lot of offers. And, Florida State would have took him, but I don't want nobody doing no charity for my kid. You got to earn it.
Right.
You got to earn it. And I didn't feel as though he earned that, and that wasn't the place for him. You got to go with the right fit for your kids. You got to know who your kids are. Just because that was my path, that don't mean it's his path. And he got to walk in his own steps, man. So I'm happy with him at South Carolina. Whatever Shador chooses, I'm happy with whatever he chooses, but they can't walk in my footsteps, man. That's not fair to them.
Deion, of course, I think since 2017, this is your third year now as offensive coordinator, which really, within the high school football deal, I saw a whole big thing where you guys don't really have, you say we don't have titles, we like to win titles. So the offensive coach, offensive coordinator, you guys just all kind of just help the kids out. And I think you went from like 660th to a state title in the tenure that you've been there.
Oh, yeah, man. We won 2 back-to-back state titles. But our claim to fame really is to have 35 kids on the team. And over the last 2 seasons, we've sent 24 kids to college.
Was it
so the ratio of us getting kids to college is astronomical. It's crazy what we're doing. And that's what we measure ourselves, trying to get kids to and through college, not just to college, to and through college. So that's what we are. And we love what we do. We only have like 2 coaches on the staff that's employed by the school. The rest of us are volunteer guys, and we just love what we do.
Deion, I watched the Jags rookie orientation thing. I didn't really, and I've known you for a long time, Deion, but I didn't know how much you really broke the film down. And I always just thought, Deion, and don't get mad at me, but you're just an unbelievably physically skilled guy. And I didn't know the amount of prep that you did. And when did you start prepping? Was it with Bobby, or was it when did you really start breaking stuff down and knowing characteristics on defense and not just going by your ability?
Probably my second year in the NFL. The first year, you always play on ability and not knowing really what you're doing. You watch film, but you watch yourself instead of really watching the nuances and understanding coordinators and what they're trying to accomplish against you. So probably my second year, I started spending extra time after practice, before practice in the film room. Then I started this video collection. Back then, it was VHS tapes, man.
Oh, yeah, back in the day.
I used to travel with this VHS machine, and I used to watch tape right up into kickoff, really studying my opponent. And I kept books on the teams I played against and how they would attack us and what they would try to do to me personally as well. That's the only way you're going to be great at anything, man, to really study profoundly.
I just watched a thing, I think, on your Insta about NFL camp starting now. And, Deion, what type of off-season regimen, and were you the guy, because you're always a hard worker, but were you the guy that came to camp as a veteran that was in shape? Like the rookies could look at you like, man, you can say what you want about that 32-year-old, but he is in shape.
Yeah. First of all, you got to understand, I barely went to camp. because, I played this little thing called baseball.
Yeah, 9 seasons.
So I only had a few years of training camps, football-wise. So I don't ever remember going to camp in Atlanta. Definitely didn't go to camp in San Francisco. I may have gone to maybe 2 camps, 3 camps in Dallas. I went to one in Washington, and then at the backstages of my career in Baltimore, I went to a couple of camps. But really, I believe half my career I was in camps. So I always prided myself on being in shape and being consistent with understanding preparation for the game, man. The game is a beautiful thing. The game has really made it possible for my mother to live the lifestyle that she dreamt of, as well as my sister and my nieces and nephews. So the game has been good to us, man.
Kids, take care of your kids. I mean, Deion, you're one of the best. I mean, Deion, you're one of the best dads that I know. Like, I mean, you really, really take a lot of real estate in your kids. I mean, from Bucky to Bossy. There's a show from Bucky to Bossy.
From Bucky to Bossy. You got that right. That'll be all over the place.
From Bucky to Bossy, huh?
Yeah, my kids are all over the place, man. Like,
but you're strict, Deion. Like, people don't realize you're strict. Like, I've seen you as a dad.
I'm an old school dad, man. I grew up on Fred Sanford and James Evans and George Jefferson, and I grew up on those type of fathers, man. So that's how we got our snapshot. We pattern ourselves after the fathers we saw on television. But I don't expect nothing from anybody that I wouldn't do myself.
Well, don't think that Connie didn't run a tight ship. My Lord, I mean, you weren't getting nothing by Connie.
Yeah, she's still running one around here right now. She's still running. She's on these pool guys' butts out here, man, because the pool has a leak or something. There is no way you're supposed to put water in a pool, every week. So,
I saw when I went out there one time, little Bucky might have been 2 or 3. I don't even know how old Bucky was in '96. And Bucky was doing something he wasn't supposed to be. And Bucky looked up at Connie, and she just gave him a look, and he went pew right up. I mean, he was out.
Oh, yeah.
Bucky was.
Yeah, you got to hit at my house. It was spankings been passed out. One of those you could have CPS on speed dial all you want to. You was getting hit in my house growing up.
Deion, I tell you one thing. I think you might have bigger arms. I think you might be in as good a shape as you were like back today as you were in '96. I mean, your arms look bigger than you ever been.
Well, I pride myself on working out, man. I'm in the room talking to you right now. I'm looking at ellipticals right by my bed. So I get up and I either run a mile or I hit 20 to 30 minutes on this elliptical every day. Do the push-ups, the sit-ups, the weights, look at everything, man.
I saw the 30 for 30 documentary on Tony Mandrich. Did you see it?
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I didn't see that yet.
But Tony, you got to see it.
Tony Mandrich, honestly, people won't understand this, but Tony Mandrich was the second pick in the NFL draft when I came out of college. Tony Mandrich may go down in history to me as probably one of the best college offensive linemen that ever played this game. You got to show me somebody that was better in college than Tony Mandrich, because he was phenomenal, man.
And his 30 for 30, Deion, they had a lot of excerpts from you because they talked all about the '89 draft. And his 30 and 30, man, if you didn't like the guy and you thought he was whatever which way, he is the most humbling. Like he owns what he did. Like it was really well done. Just like your 30-30 was well done. But if you got a chance to watch it, Deion, when you're traveling, to LA and stuff, you'll like it.
I'm gonna reach out to Tony, man. I haven't talked to Tony Mandrich. Got to be 15, 20 years. So I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna reach out to him just to check on him, man.
89 draft, top 5. Aikman, Tony Mandrich to the Packers, Sanders to I think the Lions, Derek Thomas to the Chiefs, and primetime to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But don't forget the '89 draft also had Rison, Metcalf, Daryl Johnson, Don Beebe, Steve Atwater, Dave Meggett, Wesley Walls.
Yeah.
I got a trivia question for you, Prime. What college did the Moose play for? Daryl Johnson.
Syracuse.
You can't trump prime time, can you?
Because Moose is a good friend. I'm not really into politics. I'm into people. I want to see people do the right thing. I'm not into politics.
Right.
Republican, Democrat, I don't give a darn who you are, as long as you're a good person to me.
Yep.
And we have these talks. Sometimes we meet downtown for lunch, Moose and I, and we just have these talks about people, about politics, and we never had these discussions when we played together, but that's our common ground. So we would meet sometimes downtown and have these chats, man. That's unbelievable, man. So that's why I kind of know where Moose comes from, because they recruited Shiloh as well as they offered Shador a scholarship, and he asked me about that as well.
Only my boy Primetime would know where Moose played at Syracuse.
Yeah, Moose is a good guy, man.
I think a lot of people would be really surprised. I don't know that anybody's ever done this with you, Deion, and that is I was going to blurt out some names, some of them obscure, and just get like your little first reaction. And these are these are people that you've played with before. That people like a lot of people like. I'm calling it from Andre Rison to Jeff George, from Ray Lewis to Pookie Reese.
Wow, yeah.
How about first name Andre Rison?
Andre Rison, this was one of my best friends, and the reason we fought nationally and publicly, because there was one brother that left another brother, and the brother that was hurt because the other brother left him. It's like two kids in a foster home, and one kid gets picked up by a family, and the other kid is still there, and the other kid was really hurt because the one kid left. That was the extent of our relationship in Atlanta, and that's why he was upset, and that's why we fought. And that was the dumbest thing we've ever did, because that was my brother, and I love him to this day to life.
You and Andre still keep in touch?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
He's still in Atlanta?
No, Andre is actually in Michigan. He's in Michigan.
Don't forget the last team Andre played for and got a Super Bowl ring, buddy.
Yep, and Barb described the play of the first game. You got to hear him tell that story. It's unbelievable. I got it on camera how he described that play that he threw the touchdown to Andre.
Wasn't that just like a little skinny post or something?
That was a deep post, but he said that he could not believe that they gave him that coverage on the first play. He couldn't believe it was a blitz, and he said he was walking to the line like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" And he checked off, like the Steve Young, now the Joe Montana, like 44 Razor. They had that kind of call, and he checked off, and he just couldn't believe it that they did that. And he was back and dropping back saying, please, Andre, run the right route. Please run the right route. And he say Andre did run the right route. And he connected with him, man.
He's just an old school gunslinger, isn't he, Deion? Favre?
God, I love Favre, man.
How about Pookie Reese? A lot of people don't. Again, I'm going to ask you some obscure names, Deion. Probably names nobody's ever asked you about.
A young kid that when I played for the Reds, man, was a phenomenal middle infielder, could have played short, second. Good kid, man. I haven't talked to him in years, but he was a great human being. He really was.
Michael, the man, Irvin. How's Irv doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen, because we grown, man. We chasing our own things right now. But I see him on the NFL Network, which we both are employed by. He's doing his thing, man. Talking the talk and walking the walk, man. He loves the game. The game loves him back. Great individual.
Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly, probably one of the best hitters that I've ever seen in this game of baseball. Was a true professional before I knew what professional was in baseball, because I was so young and dumb playing for the Yankees. But he was a pillar of consistency.
Jeff George.
Jeff George probably had one of the strongest arms besides Brett Favre that I've ever seen. Brett, you can go wake Jeff George up right now. He'll probably throw a football 80 yards. I'm telling you, man. And I just wish he would have got into a system that would have had a real disciplined system and a quarterback coach that could really hone his skills, that he would have went down in history as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. But I love Jeff George, man. I really do.
The next name, a lot of people don't know this. You played with him. He was in your Hall of Fame class of 11, and I don't want to use the word hate, but he killed my Packers when he was a Chicago Bear, and that's Richard Dent. You played with him for the Niners, didn't you?
Hey, man, Richard Dent was a dog, man. I mean, we got a Super Bowl together with the Niners. He was a force to be reckoned with. This guy was phenomenal. He was a phenomenal human being. He was a phenomenal football player.
And my final one, Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith, we kind of was behind the eight ball when we went to Washington, praying that it would be our last hoorah. It didn't go well because we had kicking problems that year with the kickers as well as quarterback little dilemmas. But we wished we would have went out differently with the Redskins because Dan Snyder did the best he could to put together a team suitable to win at least the NFC East. But we didn't. We failed, man. But Bruce was something to deal with on that defensive line. He was nothing to be played with.
You and Emmett close still, Deion? You and Emmett?
Yeah. Man, Emmett just texted me yesterday looking for Shador's quarterback coach. He wanted his number for some reason. I don't know why, because his son is a phenomenal running back / receiver, and you're going to hear about his son, EJ, in years to come. I mean, that kid can play.
2 players in the history of the league that scored a touchdown 6 ways. One of them's Deion Sanders. Who's the other guy?
6 different ways?
There, you're the one of only 2 people to score a touchdown 6 ways. Interception, punt return, kickoff. What's that?
I wouldn't know who that would be. Let me get 2 guesses. I would probably say Ed Reed.
Nope. You'll never guess him in a million years.
Charles Woodson.
Nope.
I would never guess it then.
So I'm going to give you some info you can use now. Bill Dudley from the 42 Steelers.
Wow. I would never guess it.
Did you know that you're only one of 2 players to score a touchdown 6 ways?
No, well, I didn't know that.
You did know it, but you just didn't know who else did it.
You know, I'm not historical by any means. I don't know history too much, man, in regards to sports. Man, I would have never guessed that.
Bill Dudley, Deion. Remember that name. Sponge gave you Bill Dudley.
Bill Dudley.
Out of all your all your kids, Bucky, let me see off the top of my head. Don't tell me. Bucky, Shiloh, Shador, Deandra, Bossy, and that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Bucky, Shiloh, Shador, Deandra, Bossy.
Right.
I don't think I'm missing. Which one, Deion, has tried your patience as a father?
Shiloh. That's easy.
Really? No questions asked?
Yeah, Shiloh. That's easy. That's really easy.
Deion, you used to dunk? Somebody said you used to dunk.
Yep, medicine balls. That's when you know you're getting up.
Really? Medicine balls, 8-pounders. Medicine balls.
When you can dunk a medicine ball, you're getting up.
How's my boy Rogers going to be this year with that new coach?
You know what? That's going to be a tough one, Sponge. I don't know how that's going to play out because I felt like they had a winning combination there and they messed that up. I don't know how this is going to play out because most old dogs don't want new tricks. And you trying to bring a new guy in for Aaron Rodgers at his age and stage I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. I don't see them improving too much. And that division they're in with Minnesota and Chicago, it's tough, man.
Chicago's tough. Chicago's tough, man.
Minnesota is too. Don't underestimate those guys. So the only gimme that they have is Detroit, and Detroit always plays them well. They usually split with Detroit. But that's a tough.
But now Detroit's been winning in Green Bay, which is unheard of. Right. You know you're in trouble.
Right.
How about Jameis down here in Tampa? I mean, do you like Arians? I like that guy. I think the Arians guy's a good guy.
Yeah, I don't like him. I love him. I love it. Bruce Arians. I really do, and I love his staff. He usually accompanies himself with a great staff.
Yeah, he's got the kid from we got Todd Bowles on there for defense.
Yeah. Yep, James is a Florida State guy, so I gotta give him unconditional love first and foremost. I love their receiving core. I love what they're placing on the field. I think Arians will cause that team to improve, but you got to understand, man, when you're in the same darn division with New Orleans, man, Carolina, and Atlanta, that's just tough. That's a tough division, man. It really is.
Speaking of old school Bucks, Deion, how good was Rondé? Was Rondé good?
Rondé was good.
How about Dak? What's going to happen with Dak? Is he going to be okay out of Dallas or really kind of screwing him over on the money?
They should have paid him last year when he was on sale. Now he's not.
They got the kid from Jacksonville got the money. The kid from Philly got the money. Then they haven't done near what Dak had.
The kid from Philly got the money, and he ain't finished in the last 2 seasons. So how can you pay Dak less?
I don't know.
He's been consistent. I mean, you can't. So they're in a dilemma. Dak is the priority. The other guys aren't the priority. Dak is the priority right now.
How's Tracy doing, man? I don't mean to be like shady or nothing, but she is so cool, Deion.
Good. She's in meetings right now. We just got off the phone. She's in meetings early this morning, trying to doing her producing thing. She'll be here manana. She'll be here tomorrow. Matter of fact.
That'll make. Now, Deion, when do you start traveling a lot? Well, I mean, you probably start traveling to L.A. now. What you like? You leave on Friday, get back on Sunday?
No, definitely not. Friday's football Friday, baby.
That's right. Saturday.
Then Saturday, I got to figure out Shiloh's schedule because I got to make, most of his home games or away games, and I just got to be there to support my boy. Then I got to jump on a plane that night to try to make it to L.A. So it's going to be tough travels for old Prime this year, man.
And Deion don't travel private, even though he's got more money than I know. He'll pinch a penny, won't you, D?
Man, I do travel private. My planes just say American on the side of it.
Hey, Prime.
A lot of people fly with me.
You got a lot of friends, huh? How's
American and Delta on the side of them.
How's Lenny Harris doing?
Lenny Harris, man.
That's my guy. That's my guy right there, Lenny.
Lenny Harris is a darn legend, all-time leader in the Major League Baseball. We talk a few times a year, man. Lenny is, he's one of my favorites, man. He's one of my best friends. He's one of the best teammates I've ever played with. He's my guy.
I'm just going to tell you right now, we used to hang out and stuff. You were playing with the Reds, and I went, over at Plant City, that little house, and Barry Larkin and all the boys. Lenny was the one that was the coolest to me. He was always making sure, Lenny was always the coolest. By far.
I met a kid in high school that lived in Plant City. Phenomenal receiver, matter of fact. Came to the Under camp. He's a phenomenal. I think he's a 5-star receiver. And he and this other kid, I know they live in that area. And I said, son, do you understand how much Plant City means to me? And I was giving him some history of Plant City and where I used to stay in spring training and how wonderful that city was. I used to fish all over there. So the Sponge found me some new fishing holes.
Remember Jody? Jody.
Jody lives in Texas, man.
I know Jody does. I know. I talked to him a little bit ago.
Yeah, he and his wife, they keep in touch with me, man. And Jody has come to Lake Prime to fish with me once. He hadn't been back.
Let me tell you something. I got a fishing hole that you will flip out of. If you ever go to Indianapolis, I don't know if your travels take you to Indy, but my boy Tony Stewart, the NASCAR guy, really, really good. I'm as good of friends with him, Deion, as I am you. He's got like a 30,000 square foot house that's modeled after a Bass Pro Shops, and it looks just like a Bass Pro Shop. And out back is like a 15 or 20 acre fully stocked up bass pond.
That's awesome.
And I'd be like, man, Deion would be going. Deion's been known to get put in jail for just trying to find a bass fishing hole. Now, have you, Deion?
Yep, I have, and I claim. That's why on every property I have now, I put my own lake out there, so I don't have to go to jail no more. So I got lakes in all my properties, man.
He's a hardened criminal, ladies and gentlemen. He actually has a booking photo for breaking in for bass fishing. Don't you, Prime?
I actually smiled on the mugshot.
Hey, I can't thank you enough for just being such an unbelievable friend, Deion. I couldn't be any more prouder of you, my friend. You're doing so good, and I love the hell out of you, buddy.
Well, the next time I'm in town, I'm coming to do the show with you. I'm co-hosting with the Sponge.
Oh, how's Randy and Paula doing?
Man, I haven't talked to either of them in quite some time, but the last I spoke to them, both of them were doing well. They're not together, of course.
No, I know.
They're doing well. They're doing well, and they're moving on, and both of them still love the Lord and then trying to bless people as much as possible.
I know Paula's doing well. I think she went and did her own ministry. I think maybe in Orlando or something. She's doing real good.
Yeah.
So don't forget the one person, because of this interview, that you're going to reach out to. Now, you remember? Tony Mandrich.
Tony Mandrich.
Yeah.
I gotta see if he's on social. That's how you find everybody. You just tweet at him and
if you got a chance to watch that 30-30, it's pretty humbling. Like, the guy was really, he really owns what he did, and it's a really good piece. I think you'd like it, bud.
I may go find it tonight, on Netflix or whatever. I'm gonna try to find it somewhere tonight and watch it.
I'll be shipping you some new Bubba Army stuff to your address you gave me. You still got that tiny? You still got that tiny house?
I'm laying light, man. So make sure they larges now. I'm laying light.
Oh, you large now, huh?
Yeah, I'm laying real light right now. I'm real lean right now. Lean and mean right now.
Tell Shador I said hi, my man. Okay.
I will, man. He's a little phenom. I can't wait till you meet him so he get to know Uncle Sponge, man.
Deion, good talking to you. Thank you. You know what? This is my first. I'm starting to do a thing every Wednesday at noon called Bubba Unsponged, and it's just a one-on-one interview, and you are my first guy, bud.
You are a legend in broadcasting, and you know that. You need to know that, man. And don't estimate everybody in that area, and around the country as well. Got to know the Sponge, man. Whenever I meet somebody from there, I say, you know the Sponge? Yeah, Bubba the Lord Sponge. He ain't crazy. I said, no, he ain't crazy. That's the Sponge. I know Bubba.
Yeah. Hey, Deion, God love you, my friend. Thank you for all you do for me, buddy.
Okay, buddy. God bless you.
Thank you, Deion. Thank you, buddy. There you go. That's just a good guy right there, man. We've been friends since '96, and you know, in the midst of some of the things I've been through and some of the controversies, and some people, it's not so cool to say that you're my boy. And Deion still wears his Bubba Army stuff from time to time. I mean, it almost makes me want to cry. He's just such a good guy. Just a good guy.
We got a special guest on the warm line.
Who's that? You're kidding me.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
Straight from the house?
Straight from the house.
Sponge.
Prime time, Deion Sanders.
This is Bubba the Love Sponge in that area.
Live from an undisclosed location in the Tampa Bay area.
Undisclosed. Man, you better leave me some sugar smacks or some frosted flakes.
I got
some sugar snaps or something around here.
I asked you what kind of cereal you want, and you go, Sponge, I go down to IHOP, get me some breakfast.
Yeah, I was gonna go, but I forgot that you work in the morning, so I'm not going to IHOP by myself, man.
No, I got in my kitchen, not your kitchen, but in my kitchen.
Some applesauce treats, I love that.
I got the applesauce and the pudding.
Gone.
And the pudding.
Yeah, the pudding is gone. I can't, I'm trying to still fit in my suits, man. I can't get that pudding early in the morning like that.
Deion goes out and run. I don't know if he's going to run this morning, but my neighbors are going to flip out when they see.
I ain't going to get shot in this neighborhood.
There's a black guy right in our neighborhood. I think it's Deion.
Oh, no. You don't see me on the 12 o'clock news.
I got some cereal in downstairs in my cabinets.
Okay.
I got some of those.
Okay.
Probably not your cereal.
Okay.
I got some Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut's all right.
Okay, and I got the Frosted Mini Wheats.
You got milk?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 2%.
No, that ain't whole milk, man. We grew up on whole milk.
Right.
Well, I'm fat. That whole milk will really fatten me right up.
Right. I need that whole vitamin D.
That's what you drink, D?
Yeah.
How about the kids? They drink that too?
Yeah, most certainly.
The whole milk.
Yeah, we're not changing, man. We ain't going this 1%, 2%. There's nowhere in the world.
Actually, I usually skim it up, but that gets a little watery sometimes.
Cereal don't even float right.
Right. It's true. It is true.
Everybody listening to Deion Sanders, knowing that Deion, just like you and I, got to get his cereal on in the morning.
Got to get my cereal on, man.
Did you sleep okay?
This morning I had a problem and headache, man. Miss Sponge hooked me up, man. She gave me some Tylenol. I'm back up and kicking now, man.
Mrs. Sponge gave you some?
Miss Sponge hooked me up, bruh.
Oh, Deion likes Mrs. Sponge. He thought I did.
You got to go get Miss Sponge down the aisle, bruh.
Yeah, Deion thinks I need to marry Jenna.
Yeah, she got to go down the Yellow Brick Road.
Deion, she was looking good. She had little tight drawers on yesterday with the tight BB top on.
It was almost a sin watching her. But I didn't look up on her with lust.
Oh, I don't care, Deion.
I just looked up on her.
Hey,
that's a great line.
Did you watch that movie last night?
Yeah, I did. It was funny, man. You didn't hear me screaming in there?
No, I didn't hear you.
It was funny, man. I was scared I was gonna wake you up. I was screaming in there, man.
No, I was dead ass asleep.
You was gone.
I was gone. Deion in the media room last night. All my stuff I got. I don't have a Deion Sanders jersey. Can you believe that?
I gotta hook you up, Sponge.
So Deion's gonna give me one. I found a Cowboys and a Redskins helmet that I had back in the day. I'll have him get me one.
You need to get him an FSU number 2 jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
What do you think of Sponge's new house?
Man, Sponge living lavish, bro. I love the Sponge crib, man. I started to stay at his hotel, the CBS Club. I say, no, I got a place to stay. In a hotel room.
He got cars. He got everything he needs.
Man, I got all access around here, man.
I tried to get Deion to take the bins out last night. He wouldn't do
I
it.
couldn't do it, man. I tell you what, Sponge, you living large, bro. Whenever you talking, you have an echo. You living large.
No.
In your house, you ain't living right.
Are you upstairs or downstairs?
I'm downstairs.
Oh, you're downstairs.
Yeah.
You're in the big house.
I'm in the big house.
See, did you guys know Deion had a guest house that I stayed in when I went out there? I got stuck.
You got to tell him that story, man.
I got stuck in the bathtub. Remember I told you that story? And I honestly God, I was so, because I'd never met his mom and wife before.
You was laying heavy, didn't you?
I was laying 488.
Right.
Deion, we're eating last night. I'm telling him a story. He goes, Sponge, you laying heavy back then. That's a cool way of saying you're a fat ass. So anyway,
I'm in the little house, and Deion's taking a nap over the other big house, but the phone's ringing. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Deion's trying to get a hold of me to tell me what time to get ready and stuff. So I'm trying to get out of the bathtub, and I'm naked, of course. I'm trying to get out of the bathtub, and I got my big ass suctioned. You know how you get suctioned in there?
Right.
So I'm thinking,
You got stuck.
Now you got to understand. And I just met Deion. This is the first time I ever been to his home in Dallas. So I'm trying to make a good impression, right? I'm trying to make sure, and when I'm trying to make sure that I clean up after myself and be a good guest. You know what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
You're trying to make a good impression because his mom's there, and some of his college boys are there, and his wife is there, and his kids and everything. So I'm like, I don't want to be this big fat white slob that they all think I am. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do when I have to call for help? And Deion's got to explain to his wife that Bubba's naked in a tub, and we got to call the paramedics to get him out. So finally, I unsuction cupped myself, and
You got to tell him, man. You say you let all the water out the tub.
Yeah, I let all the water out of the tub with my toe. I was able to finagle the drain with my toe. Because I had I have little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, my little flipper arms. I couldn't reach up there because my back and my butt was stuck against the porcelain.
So you got a Barney Rubble toe in there, able to finagle the drain?
I finagled the drain, and it went, so it went out. So finally, I'm rocking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Also,
The soap dish and almost ripped it out of the wall.
I'm thinking, if I rip this tile, man, how am I going to explain to Deion? Deion, I really appreciate you paid for my flight out here. You didn't make me stay in a hotel room. You saved me a lot of money, but I also did a couple $1,000 damage to your tile. Sorry about that, boss man. So anyway, finally you hear this big, you hear.
Somebody yell, freedom!
So then I got out and we did the whole deal that night. And then I went to Primetime 21's nightclub and met Irv and.
Well, when you say that now, you got a preference. That was about 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's before.
Thank you.
Now he and you know what Deion did? He had $1 million nightclub, if not more, and he just gave it. Once he started turning towards God and stuff, and nightclubs aren't good for him, he gave it to his boy. Just said, here, you can have it.
Right, I didn't want no more attachment
Take it.
to those worldly things, man. I had to let it go, my brother.
Just gave it to him. Said, here.
Some things in life you got to let go.
Wow, man.
Hey, Deion, how good, the CBS president yesterday, or 2 days ago in the USA Today said, no, we're not doing the 5 to 6 to 7 Deion Sanders segments. We're turning it up. He'll probably be on every week.
Right, I'm having a great time, Bub. I can't wait to get out here and see these Bucks.
Yeah, he's got Warren Sapp, Keyshawn, and Rad Johnson you're talking to today.
Somebody got to tell me something.
Hey, Deion.
Somebody got to tell me something.
They're going to be trying to sidestep you, though. I'll tell you that right now.
They're going to try to give
Sidestepping me, bro, because I've been there.
They're going to try to give you that.
Sitting in the seat of the scoring for, bro. I know it's on the other side.
They're going to try to give you that 5-yard chuck. You know that, don't you, boss?
Don't dodge my questions because I know the answers before I even ask them.
Hey, Deion, tell us a time where you said, Keyshawn, I had a rocking chair sitting back at 15. How's that one going to go?
I can't give away my good stuff and nobody will watch me on Sunday morning.
I had a rocking chair sitting back at 15, dog.
Right.
I know you ain't going long on me.
You live in lavish, man. I appreciate your hospitality. It's been wonderful.
You're going to stay.
Last night, man. Miss Sponge taking care of the big Sponge.
What are we doing tonight?
Gotta go to dinner. If we still around, we may go to church. We may go to visit the Whites if we have time.
Oh, Pastor Randy and Paula White at Church Without Walls International. I'll give you a call when I get off the air after. You'll probably get out about 3 or 4 today.
Oh, I should be done earlier than that.
Deion's
don't work as this hard. I don't play anymore.
Deion's a one-take brother, too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, one-take Jake.
He got 2 cameras going on. I didn't know that, but during his interviews, they have 2 cameras so they can get Deion's facial and spin on when the guy may be swerving.
Yeah.
Deion says, what he meant to say was, he really can't. He didn't mean what he said.
Well, he really wanted to say, but he didn't want to say this because there's repercussions of what he wanted to say. This ship is about to sink here.
Hey, Deion, you got to tell my listeners the one line you said. Brent, what do you say about the ship?
If I jump ship, the ship is usually sinking.
Right. On every team I played on.
He said that.
There's an indication this thing is about to go. I'm going to get off here.
You go in, you get with the Falcons, boom, out. Go to the 49ers, win a Super Bowl, boom, gone. Go to the Cowboys, win a Super Bowl, boom, gone. Go to the Redskins, boom, gone.
Right.
Retire.
Yeah, and I'm still as going now, bro.
How did you sleep okay in that big bed last night?
I slept like a champ, man. I really did, man. But I got a headache, man. I had, trying to put this piece together in my mind all night.
It's amazing. We sat on the couch last night, and he just turned it on. Some of his questions he was going to ask. I was like, wow, Deion, that's good stuff, brother. Because a lot of people are afraid to ask Sapp and Keyshawn and these boys some of the tough questions. And not tough questions, but just
want to know certain things, man.
It's good.
You can't think viewers are mindless.
It's a lot of things that goes on in the course of a football game. People really want to know, why did you do that? Why did you throw that ball? Didn't you see that guy with the other color jersey sitting over there?
Squatting down on the ball?
Right.
Hey, how about my boy Brett Favre? If you did one for him last week.
That's my man.
Oh, man.
That's your time.
Deion's going to get me to meet him.
Yeah, I got to get you to meet Brett.
Yeah. That was a good interview.
That was a good piece last week.
That was a great piece.
We got to go fishing. That's another thing why I went jogging around here. Too much water around here, man. They could just take me out and hide me.
Deion saw my big pond, man. He was like, his eyes were big, man. I wish I had a rod right now.
Right.
Give me some snook.
I would have spent the night on the bank.
Prime time. I'll give you a call. Put in your cell phone later today. We'll coordinate it.
All right, brother. Should I let the dog out for a walk, man? He's about to go crazy in this cage.
No, Miss Sponge will do that.
Miss Sponge do that?
Yeah.
Miss Sponge is versatile like that.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, it's about time to get her down the aisle, bro.
Go down. Deion's hitting me to go down the aisle.
Yeah, you can't live like that, bro.
If I get married, bro, will you go to the wedding?
Yeah, you know I beat her with bells on.
All right,
I'm not going to address you, though, because it's your day. Man, I got to win it all. This is your wedding day. I will not address you.
You will not outdress me.
I will not address you on that day.
It's funny to see Deion on the CBS set, and you see Jim Nantz, conservative, Mike Ditka, who's about 1968, Jerry Glanville, conservative,
right.
Randy Cross, conservative, and then Deion macked out on about a $3,400 shadow stripe deal.
But you know what I told him, Bubba? I told him on first day, I said, do not let my appearance cause any interference in what we're trying to accomplish here today. I got a reputation to uphold.
Is that trying to say I'm a smooth brother, man? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I got to try to dress this stuff up in some kind of way, man.
Glanville wears a belt buckle like a wrestling belt, man.
I know it.
Right.
You need to rip on his belt buckle and say, man, Jerry, I got a belt buckle like that with the hood ornament on my old Lincoln.
What are you, the tag team champions?
Are you wrestling for WWF nowadays with that wrestling belt?
Right. Exactly.
Prime time. God bless you, brother. I'll give you a call later today.
All right, Bubba, the love bud.
Thank you, Deion.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Deion.
Praise the Lord.
Deion, Bubba.
Bubba, how you doing, man?
You're live, brother. How are you?
Good. Man.
I didn't wake you up, did I, brother?
You know you didn't wake me up, man. My phone been blowing up. I was just talking to Lenny, man.
Your phone's blowing up because you were unbelievable yesterday, brother.
I tried my best, Bo. How you been, man?
Good. I've been great, man. I was so proud of you, and I picked up the paper this morning and had a big picture of you hitting a homer and driving in 3, scoring 2, and doing the whole deal.
Man, I'm trying. Everything all right with you, man?
Everything's Well, yeah, we're going to be okay on that deal.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, we're fine. It's just a whole activist group trying to get me in trouble. What's new, though, huh?
You know I worry about you.
Hey, guess who I spoke to yesterday?
Who's that?
Pastor White.
Oh, that's good, man. Pastor's a good man.
Pastor Randy White.
He cares about you, but you got to get your butt back over there, Bubba.
Yeah, I think I'm going Thursday night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's good, man. That's some good people, man.
Are you in Cincinnati? Are you guys got another homestand against L.A.?
Yeah, we got 2 more games against L.A., then we play, I think San Diego also.
And then you, Sheffield, 4 for 5 yesterday.
Yeah, we going to lunch like at 1 o'clock today.
Tell Chef I said hi.
I definitely will, man.
How's Shiloh and
good down the stairs making Daddy some breakfast?
Really?
Yeah.
Man, Deion, you really did good yesterday. Your timing's down.
Man, I just thank the Lord, man. I really do, man. The Lord wanted to get the glory out of the whole comeback ordeal, and that's what He's doing, man. I'm serious. I really thank the Lord for that, because I couldn't have even written a better script to come back in.
No, you couldn't have. Now, you know what? Brent just pulled an article. They were saying, what were they saying in that article, Brent?
Here's what it says. Who else is the best ever at one line of work and can walk to a new game and be a major leaguer there? Does Mario Lemieux do that? Does Michael Jordan do that? Does A-Rod do that? No, only Deion Sanders moves between professional sports at the highest level.
Yeah. Deion, without sounding corny, I am so proud of you, Deion, being a friend.
Thank you, man. You're my man, though, bub. You know you're a true friend, man.
There's a lot, Deion, with what Deion's been through, and when Deion, was the man and the money and the women and all that kind of stuff, and then when Deion went towards the Lord, a lot of his friends dropped off the bandwagon. I mean, Deion, you even talk about that a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely, but, they weren't friends.
Deion and I have stayed friends for 5-6 years through the good times and the bad times.
Right.
And he's just good people, man. Good people.
Bubba. Ain't no Bubba like the one I got. Oh, Bubba looking like some women, though, man.
Well, Deion,
you still trim, Bubba?
Oh yeah. In fact, I'm going to go work out with Hogan here in about a half an hour. As a matter of fact.
Tell him I said hi.
Big Hulk Hogan. Good. He's good people too, man. He's real good.
He is, man. I heard some wonderful things.
Next time you come to town, Deion, I want to bring you two together because you'd like Terry. He's good people.
Man,
Right. Well, we could go over to the church and praise the Lord together, man.
Hey, Deion, I'll give you a call later this week or maybe early next week, but tell Pilar, Connie, and your mom, everybody said hi.
Okay, you too, Bubba. God bless you. I'm glad you're back, man. The folks need to hear from you, man. I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, Deion.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Tell me another local show in this market that can get Deion Sanders on the phone.
Praising the Lord.
Praising the Lord. Hitting home runs, 3 for 3. You can pray. Hey, Deion can praise the Lord all day. You don't think that the general manager of the Reds is praising the Lord right now? I think if that's the key to going 3 for 3 or 4 for 5, I think all of them are going to be praising the Lord today.
You should have seen Manson's face. Deion's going, just praise the Lord. Manson's going, yeah, okay, buddy.
No, the Lord wanted to get the glory from the comeback, and it was all orchestrated that way. I know. I sincerely believe that.
Exactly, Deion. Exactly. Appreciate it, Manson.
Well, all right. Yeah.
Now that's memory lane, baby.
Listen to this.
It was strange.
You gotta kick it in.
Shame for the better, for the worse. So I called my mom and she said, baby. Yeah.
Now, primetime, that thing went gold.
It did go gold.
That thing went gold. 500,000 copies.
Forget where it went. It went everywhere. That's where it went.
It must be the money.
People I never thought about associating with. I don't know what it is.
I just want to see the girls in the background. They did the background. They sound good.
Man, they probably big as a house right now. Come on, man. Cut it. Let's have a good time, baby.
Primetime Deion Sanders in the studio this morning. Deion, how are you, buddy?
Bubba, you got it going on. First of all, this don't make no sense, man. This is how you do it. If you're going to do radio, this is how you do it.
We're one of the very few shows that have their own standalone facility. We don't have to go anybody. We don't rely on kind of like you, man. We don't
you the
rely on
Wizard of
anybody.
Oz. You sitting back. I've never seen the star, the center, the point guard, the Bubba, the quarterback, run all the controls, do all your thing, baby. You got it.
And so most, when we got fired from Clear Channel, our problem was we had great content, but we didn't have anywhere to distribute it. And so I'm like, you know what? If I ever get another job, I'm going to invest the money to build my own place. That way I'll never be fired again because I got a place to do a show. And so I built this place, and we got to show you some other things.
You did a good job, though.
And I got we've been here now 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, we built it in 05, late 05.
And late 05.
I seen the weight room the other day. We went on a tour
you
there.
saw that.
That's why Bubba's all sexy and cut and real.
And Deion said, I go, Deion, I ain't got no fat head. Deion goes, man, fat head ain't cut me into the money yet. So you ain't gonna see one. You ain't see one.
Fat head. You're not gonna see me plastered on the wall until you see direct deposit.
So now, does Fathead, when that sort of thing happens, they got to cut a deal with that individual guy?
Yes.
Or the union?
Yeah. Now they got to cut a deal with the individual.
With the individual guy. Mm-hmm. Have they come to you? Because I got to think that the Deion. I got to think that the Deion. Because they know the price.
They might have heard
much.
Rumors. Yeah.
They might have heard a price tag.
Right. It ain't no discount. Ain't nothing about me cheap.
Now, when it comes to like the NFL games, the Maddens of the world, and things like that.
First of all, it's a bad impersonation of pride. I'm going to talk in the third person a lot this morning.
It's a bad impersonation of pride.
I'm going to talk in the third person a lot this morning.
Talking in the third person
so it's a bad impersonation of pride.
You know where we missed the ball? We missed the ball. Usually we're on top of things, but we've been scrambling around this week because of Super Bowl. Where we missed the ball is I should have gone to like Mr. Mann's, one of those prints, and got just the most pimpus ass suit, put some fake teeth on Spice Boy and a derby, and have Deion versus Deion, had him looking like Deion.
Yeah, but it would have been a knockoff. You go through the airport and the signs detect when you got something that you're not supposed to have when you go through on the plane.
Right.
Yeah, all the signs with a buzzer would have went off. Knockoff
on the prime time.
Knockoff.
Well, you can diss my impression of you all you want, but it's pretty damn solid.
The
No,
listeners,
it's not.
see the listeners love
I
it.
would tell you.
You're an icon with our listeners,
and it's so over the top.
But I love it.
I would tell you if it was tight.
But see, Deion, it's so over the top that it's funny.
I love that kind of stuff. You got to understand. First of all, I'm a man with a great sense of humor. I love it. But before I leave, I'm going to teach you how to do me. If you're going to do me, I'm going to teach you how to do me.
I want to know how to do you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be one of the guys.
See, you sound like Deion the smoker. Deion never smoked a cigarette in his life. You sound like Deion's been slipping on some Newport.
Right. You know, just like the movie that Diddy just did with Biggie, Notorious.
Yeah.
Wonderful movie. But see, don't do me when I'm dead. I'm gonna teach you while I'm alive. Do me right. Don't make no movie about me when I'm gone.
How's Pilar doing?
She's doing wonderful.
I heard she looked good on the carpet last night.
She looked good off the carpet.
He's got like a cliche answer for everything. Everything you throw at him, he's got like a one-liner.
They call it quick.
So I'm talking to my general manager Jay O'Connell from Cox last night, and he says
from the who?
From Cox Communications.
Oh,
Deion's like,
you know,
Bubba, what
I'm
you
listening to the Bubba show. You said from you know, they said that word.
Right.
Good Lord.
No, it's Cox. It's Cox. It's COX. It's COX. It's the Cox Communications. And he says, he goes, man, that Deion, God, is he quick and is he good? And I go, man, he's smooth. And he goes, and he starts thinking, he goes, you know, radio. I go, Jay, stop. You couldn't even think about affording him. He goes,
is he good? They would have to build one of these on property.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Build one of these at your house.
On the crib. You know, somewhere on the crib. Apart from the crib.
Now, how many acres you got now, buddy?
Enough.
Well, you said you have cows and cattle and stuff.
Tax purposes.
No, I mean, how many head you got? How many head of cattle?
Now, that was a good one. I think it's one for every 10 acres. You need one for every 10.
To get the green belt.
Yeah.
Or whatever they call it in Dallas.
Yeah.
The green belt. So, Spice Deion, how many cows you got out there?
I got about one for every 10 tax purposes.
And you know, what's funny is he make the face, man. That's the funny thing.
You have a very distinct look.
Yeah, but I got to let you, whenever you really want to make a point, you got, like Bubba tried to coach up this morning, you got to go high. You got to make a point, you got to go high.
You got to go high. One of my favorite things is yesterday when I asked you about people talking smack when they used to come to your house, and you go, nobody talks smack in Daddy's house.
Yeah, nobody talks to Daddy like that. No.
To Daddy like that.
I got to tell you, you look, I mean, you're 41.
And don't make me take off my shirt because I'm proud of the way I look, too.
I'm not going to try to make you get topless.
You're thicker than you played. You're thicker than you played.
But I swear to God, you look really good.
You got to understand, we did a reality show just as fast as his next brother. We did a reality show. So I had to look tight because Mama looking right.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to,
But there ain't no brother going to pull that from you now. Come on.
Take it. I had to really hit it. And now I hit it because I'm training these young kids for the combine as well. I'm training pros in the summer. Then I'm training my youth. You know, my youth organization. So
now,
I
one
gotta
time,
stay tight.
you were 4'2". I mean,
for breakfast.
At 4'2".
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
Yeah.
Were you in the ones? Were you 4'19", 4'18"?
Depending on the next brother.
Now,
depending on who I'm racing against.
But I mean, you're like at your tip top. I mean, you're one of the fastest guys in the league. What do you think you are right now? This very second, if you had to go out 4'4"?
I think I would just burst both hamstrings.
I mean, honestly, 4'4".
Simultaneously.
How many years did you play?
14.
And, do you feel a lot of ill effects in your leg?
Yeah, my
seriously?
toe. I'm gonna take off my shoe and let you see my toe. That's why I ride around on the cart.
That's
my
the
toe
worst.
is shot.
Now, Deion, what is
that from baseball too, though?
No, straight football.
Straight football.
Straight
Deion, what's turf
toe? And my toe is hurting right now.
Because everybody gets tweaked by it.
It's really not turf toe, but that's the only thing they could say.
Right.
Man, Jonathan Ogden and I talked on Radio Row, which you so eloquently described it correct.
Right. Cattle call.
Yeah, we talked about that just a couple days ago, and he had to leave his career due to the same ailment. It'll never be the same. Like last night, I was just coming from work. I was like, baby, my toe is throbbing so bad. Mm-hmm. She's like, baby, just take some medication, put some Epsom salt in the bathtub and just let it soak because it hurts so bad just walking around.
But is it like an arthritic feeling?
Yeah. And it's funny that, I filed suit and everything with the NFL.
Right.
And they just called me recently, say, okay, we'll settle with you. We'll give you, my attorney's from Baltimore, we'll give you 10. I was like, it's cool, 10 a month for the rest of your life. That's cool. They said, no, 10,000. I said, man, what am I going to do with $10,000? That's my toe.
Boy, you really made a point on that one. You went high.
Yeah, you were real high.
When I get serious, I get high.
I mean, real high. Real high. And fast. You get high and fast.
I forgot your listeners are crazy. High, we mean in pitch tone high.
Yeah.
We're not meaning the other high.
Right. Now,
they need to change the name of turf toe because it just doesn't sound serious.
It doesn't sound.
Yeah, where's the camera? Come on, close up on that.
We know.
Turf toe.
That's why.
How bad can that be?
You see how that thing jacked up?
Oh yeah. It's like his big toe is almost like dipping underneath his second toe.
It don't even go down. I can't even feel it. It's numb.
Wow. So it's actually this toe that's bothering you, the second toe.
No, I've had 3 surgeries. I had,
you can see
3
them.
surgeries, and I can't even. It's numb. and it won't go down.
Man, that looks really painful.
Now,
And
Deion, and
it
people
just
don't
hurts.
realize it. I mean, people don't realize that. I mean, your toes. I mean, they're every sense of your balance. Or you push off, and especially when you're a corner like a shutdown. I'm sorry, a shutdown corner like you, cuz.
Quarter, yeah, true. But no, your toe balances the whole foot. You can't do anything without your toe. It'd be like your index finger on your hand. You really can't use it if you don't have that one finger. You can't do it.
Now, Deion, when do you start getting a pension? I mean, do you get a pension the day you retire? Or do you start,
No. I think you could. I'm not even.
I mean, you're not even worried about your pension, are you?
I'm not even abreast of everything that happens with that. I know it's a certain age that you can draw.
Because we had Dick Buckus on yesterday. Man. What a good guy, man.
He's a great guy.
And he was talking about the pensions and what have not.
Yeah, it's never honestly for guys like that, man. It's never enough,
right?
Because they did so much for our game, man. So much for the shaping of the NFL. They should be rewarded handsomely, but it's never going to be enough, no matter what you give them.
Two of the coolest guys I ever had in studio. In studio was Dick Buckus, and I had the honor of having Deacon Jones in one time.
Deacon Jones.
Oh, his hands, man.
He's a big man.
No, good man. No, funny. We use him a lot on the NFL Network. Funny is I don't want you.
He came in here.
Man, I just want to give you a hug.
He's
dog.
the man. He is. What do you want to drink, man? What do you want to drink?
Just water,
All right. What, you want some grape, some Phantom, anything you need?
No, I'm cool.
He came in and he said,
Give me
man.
a Czech soda.
From Winn-Dixie. From Winn-Dixie.
Man, what's up?
I used to
Deep
stop
South peanut butter.
Food Line. Remember Food Line?
I remember Deep South peanut butter.
Yeah.
Bro. Peanut butter used to tap the bread.
Man, but Deacon was all mad when we had him in years ago because for the longest portion of his career, I think the entire portion of his career, they didn't recognize sacks as a statistic.
And he was the reason they started counting sacks.
And he's the reason why they outlawed the head slap, too, because he'd knock guys silly.
He goes, I used to whip somebody's butt, man.
He did.
And then one of the craziest guys we ever had in the studio, God, Brent, who was that guy? I felt so sorry for him. Dexter Manley. Dexter Manley, man. Oh, that guy. It was a sad.
He's a good guy, too.
He's
a great guy.
I was going to ask Deion, taking it back to the old days of like college ball with you at Florida State, how much did you enjoy it at Florida State? I mean, were those like some of the best days of your life or what?
College is the best days of your life. And it's, I don't want to get bad mail from people, but honestly, 100%, it's not about your education. It's about growing and maturing.
Experience.
The maturation of a person is held in college. Everybody's not going to come out there with a law degree or a PhD or whatever, but you could come out of it. You could go in there a child and come out a man, or a child and come out a woman.
Here you
Exactly.
are. You're at Florida State, and you're obviously a premier player on the team. You're doing your thing, and it's like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to the NFL. This is what I'm going to do. But what was your backup plan? I mean, what were you?
Major League Baseball was my backup, baby.
So
he actually was drafted out of high school, right? Deion.
Oh, that was my backup.
I think he was drafted by the Royals.
So either way, football, and I'm minored in baseball.
So there was no backup plan.
Now, Deion, didn't you get drafted out of high school by the Royals?
Yeah,
by the Royals of all places.
I can't say.
You weren't going there either.
They used to spring train right in Fort Myers, and that was ironic because I used to go there and hustle balls, man. I used to skip school. Kids don't do what we did.
Right.
Do what we say. I used to skip school and go hustle balls, and that's the way I made my money.
Hustle balls meaning?
Yeah, when they hit a home run,
you go get it.
I run other kids and get it.
No wonder
and
you're so fast.
When the game started, I would then in return sell the balls to the people coming to the games. It was $350 for
man,
BP.
you were making money back then.
$350 for BP batting practice ball. If it was a game foul ball, like $5. Crack bats were $10.
I would love to have. Hey, can you imagine?
I had a system.
Hey,
dude.
can you imagine how rich you would be?
I had everything but a receipt.
If you had footage of Deion as a kid hustling crackers down in Naples for balls.
Yeah, then I end up getting drafted by that team.
By
the Royals. Yeah.
But it's funny. So Deion, what would be your like? Let's say you're walking up some guy and he's getting ready to go to the game. Give us your pitch back.
It wasn't no pitch. I had like a sock, a white, those white sanitary socks. They call them sanitary socks.
I don't think you've ever told that story before. I've never heard that story.
White sanitary sock full of balls, and they knew they would be for sale, and that was your hustle.
You know what? I've never really known you either to get into your high school career.
Right.
I mean,
I had a great career. I love Fort Myers, man. They were great for my high school coaches. North Fort Myers High School.
Okay.
Javon Kurz.
Yeah, a lot of big guys come out of there.
Now, anybody on your particular 4-year team that went on to the league?
Richard Fain. You remember Richard? You met Richard before, Bob.
With you? Did I meet him?
Yeah. He played for the Bears for several years as well as Cincinnati. One of my best friends.
Was he a linebacker?
Cornerback.
Cornerback. Okay.
Now, were you the man in high school? I mean, like as far as like the chicks and prom king and the whole deal.
I was magna cum laude, but not school scholastically.
Where do you come up with all these lines, man? I mean, you sit at night and think of these lines, Deion.
No, they just come, man. It's a gift. Honestly, my most proud. Hear this. Now I'm gonna get back on the kid's side and the parents' side.
Right.
The most famous award I've ever received is not the Super Bowl, it's not a World Series runner-up ring, or not the Jim Thorpe or anything like that, but having the highest GPA on my football team my senior year.
Really?
That's my favorite trophy.
Well, because your mom was going to whip that ass. I know she's.
Mama just wanted me to make it. She wanted a stickler on you. Got to do this. You got to do that. Just make it. Just be somebody.
Now, what year did you graduate? 85.
85.
Now, I gotta ask you about a bad subject.
Come on.
When you remember the game when Florida State, you were at Florida State, Herb was at Miami. You guys were ranked number 1. First game of the season. I think it was 1988.
Yeah.
First game of the season.
Mike wasn't there. I was a senior that year.
Yeah, you guys went down there and got beat 31
We
to
got
nothing.
beat to death. We got beat to death.
Now, was that being overconfident that game? What was going on? I've always wanted to ask
They
somebody
just
on
kicked
their
their
team.
butts. Sometimes you just got to chalk it up as a loss. They just kicked your butt. They just had our number. They just really outplayed us, out-schemed us, out-fought us. They just flat out kicked your butts.
And what advice do you have for Florida State right now? Because they're in a funk.
It's recruiting, man. First of all, let me break this thing down to you. You lost Mark Ritt.
He's done a
Georgia.
great job at Georgia.
I think he recruited the Orlando area. That's a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
The same year, I believe you lost Chuck Amato to North Carolina State. He had Miami locked down. I mean,
recruiting.
Jim Gladden the same way. These are big recruiters as well as assistant coaches. 2 of those guys left. That kills you. Recruiting. It's all about recruiting. Coaching is good because I think Mickey Andrews he is the best coach ever. It was my defensive back coach that placed plenty of guys in the pros.
He is the best defensive coordinator ever in college football,
He
for
should
sure.
be the head coach of Florida State, by the way, and I'm not happy about that. But when you lose those guys, you lose recruits.
Right.
And you got
that's where it all starts.
And I'm man enough to say you got a young, handsome guy like Urban Meyer. Then you got this young brother in Miami right
Randy
now.
Shannon.
Randy Shannon. Then you got this guy over here at University of South Florida who's doing it.
Jim
So
Levis.
by the time you get these guys, you get the 3rd and the 4th best guy, and you can't win. Then they said, okay, we're going to change the regime. And I don't like, while Coach Bowden is coaching, you really proclaiming another guy that's going to succeed him. I don't like
Already
that.
called it out.
But I don't like listening to a Florida State game and you talking about the assistant coach. No, Bowden is the man.
Right.
He's the boss. Talk about him.
But the rap on Bowden is he's simply a figurehead now. Like that's the rap on him.
But many of them are figureheads.
Right.
The thing about it's nothing wrong with being a figurehead, long as the body of people around you can support you. That's the problem. It's not Bowden. There's people around him supporting him and going to get the recruits.
So it's all
now,
recruiting.
by the time, even if Florida State has a great recruiting year this year,
right,
you're still 3 years out for that guy to mature and start placing the product on the field that you think he is.
How about my team, my favorite team, Notre Dame? The problems that Charlie has had was damn near on the chopping block this past year. I don't know how he didn't make it. What's going on? I mean,
can't recruit, man.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you can't recruit.
I mean,
wonderful pro, garbage in college. You can't recruit.
But I mean, not only that, but I mean, Notre Dame has not lowered their academic standards at all.
They don't have to lower their standards. They didn't lower them when they were winning. And that's not the case. You just can't recruit. You just cannot get the players because guys want to win. That's why guys are going to Florida left and right. They getting the next best. They getting the first, second, and third best guy in the state.
Those kids that are coming up, they don't remember when Notre Dame had history.
These kids don't remember what we remember.
They don't recall.
Remember when we were growing up, man? Did Notre Dame make a run at you?
Tim Brown? No, I wasn't that nice coming out of high school.
You weren't?
Yeah, I was just a local talent. I was recruited by Georgia, and I wasn't going there because the curl got too cold on my visit. I wasn't going there.
The curl got a little.
The
Galen Hall
the activator froze up a little bit, and I went to Florida, but Florida made the mistake. I was so cocky as a high school player, and I knew I had the goods. That when I went on my visit to the University of Florida, they put all the jerseys in the locker and really make a good showing for you.
Right.
They had my number. They had just say for instance, they had a number 2 hanging up in the locker. Well, 4 lockers down, they had another number 2. So I went to the coach. I said, obviously, you don't plan on me playing because you wouldn't have given somebody else my number.
Right.
Yeah. So
there's another recruit that got
no
2.
answer. Yeah, it wasn't no answer for that.
And
I was dead serious about that.
I mean, and you had the wherewithal to be able to figure that out. You saw that. You said you can't get one by.
Well, just like University of Georgia, when I went on a recruiting visit there, on my recruiting visit, they had just got their butts kicked by Georgia Tech. And Vince Dooley, he said, well, you know, Mr. Sanders, you're going to do well for us. And, you know, if you get red-shirted one year. I said, red-shirted? Well, what I just saw, I could start for you now.
He's got your butt handed.
True story.
Now, what
And
did
you
he
told
say?
Vince Dooley that?
You told Vince Dooley that?
I was not. 17 years old. Yes, sir.
Hey, you got some brother from Fort Myers, man, that just said, I can start for you now, baby.
Yeah, you know,
red shirt.
What a curl.
Most guys in your position would have been like just in awe
and some
of
of the
being
glove
there.
shoes. I remember what I had on.
Tell us what you had on when you went
I
to
had on
Vince
some
Dooley.
gray slacks, a gray sweater with some gray little glove shoes. You remember the shoes, little glove? You could just bend them all. You could bend them all the way back. I'm aging myself right now. Yeah.
With how bad of a curl?
I didn't even have on those socks because I was a Florida boy. We never wore socks back then in the early 80s. Every day when we do on television, NFL Network, you know, people trying to get autographs. The first thing they scream is, hey, Prime time, Bubba's Army. Bubba's Army. You know, like, our relationship is going to get me over there, and there's no way to validate it. So you got to have Bubba cards, man.
Well, no,
I'm serious. You got to have Bubba cards because they just scream Bubba's Army like they part of the crew, and I don't know if they down.
No, we have. If they have, I don't even know who you people are.
Right.
Hey, Spice Deion, you don't even know if they're legitimate. It's
crazy.
Well, a lot of them will have a Bubba Army T-shirt, so that shows that they're probably.
He didn't have no Bubba. Dude, it's been like 5 to 10.
Right.
Yeah, screaming the Bubba Army.
Yeah. They,
everywhere I go, it says Bubba Army, Bubba Army.
And they're real like belligerent usually.
Yeah.
But hey, Deion, you know, I didn't know that you were part of the combine deal when you got
when I came out.
Yeah, when you came out, and how is that? Has it changed over the years? Now you're doing something for
meat market, man.
You're doing something for people.
Yeah, Prime U.
to get guys ready for this.
Prime U. You know, we partnered with Under Armour, you're going to see a 1-hour special that's going to precede the combine, shot by NFL Films.
Now, is it for players only or for the public as well?
No, for players only.
So Prime U is
Prime U is for players only. Like guys who's going to the combine, it's going to be big time draftees. I don't want to start giving names because I'm going to forget one guy, and then the rest of them going to be upset when I get back.
Right.
Tuesday.
Well, you know, we had James Laurinaitis from Ohio State on.
The linebacker.
The linebacker. Mm-hmm. They're looking at him going from 13 to 22, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Now, they're saying the Percy Harvin kid, though, out of Florida is going to be be a late rounder. Like I saw him like at 28, 29.
Yeah, because you in that offense, you never know.
Well, right.
Also, you never know if they can line up outside the numbers and run routes and do his thing. But I think he can. He has that it.
Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think about the Tim Tebow kid? Obviously, you know,
love him.
You love him.
Yeah. Everybody's running, what they call it, the Wildcat. Everybody in pros trying to run the Wildcat. That's what he does.
Hey, Spice, find me the TiVo.
That's what he does.
We do songs about famous people. We got some about you, but I probably not going to play them. But we
TiVo's nice, man.
But I mean, you know, the knock on him is that he wouldn't make it in the league. What do you think?
Yeah, but who said that? Some dude is not in the league.
Well, it's like
ask a dude in the league what he make.
Probably some fat white sports reporter who's never played one league.
I mean, it. The kid's a winner. How can somebody say a winner won't make it?
And I guess he's got that it factor, does he not?
He has that it, and he's tough.
Yeah, real tough.
I mean, he's a load coming out. Would you take him high? Would you take him high? Would you take him low?
It's not my responsibility to take him. My responsibility to guard the guy that he's trying to throw to.
But I mean, what happens, Deion, when the guy that he's throwing to now is officially trying to block you, and here comes at 6
I got the handle of the big fella. Yeah.
I mean, you got to take him at the ankles, though.
Yeah, my shoulders are made for suits, really not for tackling.
this year against Florida State.
I'm getting quote after quote today. This is great.
My shoulders are made for suits, not for tackling.
Yeah,
did you check Jerry Jones out or Barry Switzer?
For sure.
Now tell us about the combine. Is it? I mean, they poke and they prod.
Yeah, they do that. You know, when I came out, it was a lot different. Now everything's televised. Thank God we had an NFL Network because you could see it all.
Right.
I mean, you could see it all. Normally, a guy back then, he's like, "How you do, man? Bubba, how you do at the combine, man?" I went there, I ran a 4.6 40. I bench pressed 225 30 times.
Right.
No, you didn't. I was watching it. Now, see, that's the thing. People
back in the day,
used to go back to combine stories. You can't lie now. Because you can see it.
Now let's talk about that and the fact that NFL Network. Tell me now. I know that you
my job.
You worked made a lot of money with CBS.
I love my job with the NFL Network. I love it.
But I mean, I had dinner with you a few nights ago. You're like, you don't have any idea how much of a relief it is to work for these people.
Because it's just so peaceful. We're not in competition. You know, Marshall Falk, Rich Eisen, Mary Ucci, Sap Daddy. Jamie Dukes, Fran, Charles. It goes
Sterling
on and
on there
on.
too?
Rod Woodson, Sterling. But the core guys that we work with, it's no competitive thing. We just love each other. We compliment. We don't compete. We complete one another.
Is that how you felt at CBS?
Well, CBS and really, when you start getting to those letters, the ESPNs, the CBS, I mean, it's like a competitive thing, and people are trying to compete with one another, sit next to them instead of giving you the information in which they need to.
Was there sometimes a lot of overthinking of the deal? I mean,
No, it's not overthinking. Just a competitive thing. Just like they take the field and take it on the television, you shouldn't do that.
Right.
My objective is to entertain you and inform you simultaneously.
Remember the back in the day, man, when we were growing up, because you and I are within a year of each other, and they would, when Brent Musburger and Jimmy the Greek, and who was the black guy? Irv Cross.
Jimmy, first of all, Brent Musburger,
the best ever. Best ever.
Yeah.
And then they go, the best, Brent, is because
Howard
no matter where you were, you only got one game. And so CBS had the NFC. They'd throw it around. They would open the show up with live from Lambeau Field, and they do a little bumper there. Then they go, we're going to throw it over to Cleveland, and that was the best when they throw it, because you only get one game. Remember, you'd only get one game.
Living here, we used to have to watch the Bucks, and that was painful back then.
Now, Deion, did you grow up in Fort Myers?
I grew up loving Doug, baby. Loving myself some Doug.
What a great guy.
African American quarterback back then was unheard of.
But being Fort Myers, you could have been a Miami guy as well.
I really wasn't. I was a Tampa. I was a Tampa Bay Buck. Doug Williams.
Williams, what a great guy.
And when I finally had a chance to meet him, it was heaven.
Is he still working for the Bucs? Somebody told me that they were kind of screwing around with him a little bit.
I don't know. I just saw him the other day. Gave him a big hug in Radio Row, as a matter of fact.
Right.
He's a great dude, man.
You don't realize how big Doug Williams' hands are.
He's a big brother, man.
He's a big dude.
If the Bucs were sniffing around for you back in the day, would you have had the same synopsis as you did Detroit?
Yeah, because first of all, I wanted to win, and I knew I was going to be ignorant early on,
right?
Not professional, so I needed to go to a city that would allow that.
For you to be ignorant.
Yeah, because I know I wasn't a man then. I was just
now, Deion, can we talk?
Man's ransom.
Culverhouse didn't want to pay anybody back then either.
What was your very first year contract? What kind of grip did you get back in the day?
I think I got 4.4 over 4, so it was an average of 1.1.
And I mean, that's 80.
That was balling too. That was like the first $1 million defensive back.
That was the 89
that was
draft.
balling.
How much up front guaranteed?
Two up front.
So then they had 2.4 to pay over the last 4.
But I went back and knocked on the door 2 years later.
What was? So 2 years later.
I'm here. You know why I'm here.
What was your first year like statistic wise as a rook?
It was nice.
Enough for you to go back 2 years later and get a lot more.
The first 2 years was nice. It's learning processes, but it was nice. It's tough for a corner, man, the first couple of years, especially when you're playing straight man.
Now, what about Jerry Jones? The rap on Jerry.
I love him. I hugged him last night. Saw him at the hotel, gave him some love last night.
So why does he get such a bad rap?
Because is
he misunderstood?
He's an innovator. He's a creator, motivator. He's a thinker. He thinks outside the box. He's not normal. You can't define him. You can't keep him in a box. He's gonna do his thing, and his thing he's gonna do. Jerry has taught the NFL how to market.
Well, when he sold the stadium to Nike, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
that's different.
The naming.
Well, yeah,
he owns all of that. But Jerry is a forerunner. When you see this new baby that they're building in Dallas, man,
I've heard about it.
I saw it on Hard Knocks. The plans.
No team organization is going to be able to touch that.
But to the average fan, though, the counter to that is the average fan's no longer going to be able to afford these games eventually with all these expensive stadiums and all these boxes and all this and that.
The ticket goes up. The ticket, just like a bag of potato chips, they're 25 cents. When I was coming up, they going up. Ain't nobody saying that.
Sodas used to be a quarter, right? Yeah, sodas were a quarter.
Sodas was a quarter. Pickled sausage, pickled egg, pickled pig feet was a quarter too.
That's a hell of an analogy.
I think they're $1 now.
No, I need an honest answer here. Wade Phillips.
Man, you can't. Hold on. You can't throw prime time, a curveball.
I mean, I thought it was a legit question. He came back with potato chips used to be a quarter. What do I say to that?
Spike, you got to understand, I sit where you sit also. So I do radio.
Yeah.
True enough.
Yeah, it's true. Spike, go ahead.
I love him.
You like Wade Phillips?
I gave him some love last night. I love him because you got to understand he's a good coach. The defense is one of the few things that we could depend on for the Dallas Cowboys. And Wade Phillips, once he took over the defense from his defensive coordinator, the defense picked up tremendously. Now, the problem is when you underachieve, you know how our country is. We want to assess let's blame somebody. We got to blame. When the kid is not doesn't finish high school, we blaming somebody.
Right.
When the parent is insecure or you have social problems, we blame somebody. Like you were talking about this morning with the kid that robbed the.
Right.
We want to blame somebody. So Wade Phillips is the only thing that you could blame along with T.O. And that's not right. It's not fair to those guys.
You think Dave Campo is the best defensive backs coach
that I ever had?
No. That you had ever had the best one that Wade Phillips could have hired to be for the Cowboys.
Because he's a coordinator.
But I got to get into Deion's foundation. A lot of people don't know about what he does for the kids, man. It's unbelievable the thing he's got going on. He's got complexes being built. He's got 2,000 kids in his program. Kids that he's got one particular program that's for moms, single moms that are pregnant.
Yeah.
He's got all kinds of kind of deals, and he's turned a lot of in fact, all of his off-season efforts. He doesn't even do a lot of stuff except for he concentrates on this. What is it called? What is it called, Deion?
Which one?
I'm talking about the football deal, and then you get the mom deal.
Football, they could really go to ptasports.org to find out everything about the.
Now, what is that again?
ptasports.org to find out about Prime U. My football organization is called The Truth. And many other things that we do. We have Sanders Clause. We have everything.
Sanders Clause.
Sanders Clause is like Extreme Home Makeover, but we do everything.
And you're going to try to tell me that you can't brand yourself,
No, we
my man?
do everything. We show up at someone's home. For instance, it was a mother stricken with HIV positive, had no furniture. We authenticate the story. And I partner with different companies around the Metroplex of Dallas, like IKEA, a mattress giant, a grocery store like Kroger, and we knock on the door, show up, and just bless them. We capture the moment on television, but we give them everything they need.
Now, hold on, Deion. I've not seen this footage. Where's this?
SandersClause.com. You can see all the different stories, man.
Fantastic.
There's so many. Kid with a girl had outgrown a wheelchair. Insurance wouldn't even help her out. Needed a wheelchair, $15,000. We make it happen.
But see, Deion, a lot of people don't know about this. We got to get the word out.
A lady, children, both her kids and mother-in-law died in the floods last year in Gainesville, Texas. We show up, give her a new home. Pay the property taxes off for years. We take care of it. That's what Sanders Clause does. I partner with a television station in Dallas as well as many companies, and we make it happen, man.
Do you show up dressed as Sanders Clause?
No, I show up dressed as Deion Sanders.
With a white
or my wife.
You would have been a pimped out Sanders Clause, I guarantee it.
Spice Deion, why are you going to next year? Can we put the red on? Can you be real? Spice Deion, can you be really Santa Claus?
Just a white beard, Sponge.